So ladies and gentlemen, today this is a very short, simple, but significant activity. Today we are
You're
here.
taking too long, right? So go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
Yeah, she's been waiting a while. We are here under the auspices of the Adequate Housing and Urban Accessibility Program. This would have been the program in your respective communities that would have been doing some roads and some infrastructure works. Recently, roads, you would have done some street lighting, you would have been doing some concrete drains, your community facilities would have consulted with many of you on, and some of you would have been part of the women's safety audits that we would have done within your respective communities. Under this program, as you would know, we have a component called the Livelihood Restoration Plan. And under that program, wherever business persons' incomes have been affected during the implementation of infrastructure works, we are required to provide compensation, all right, for the days that you would have lost work. So maybe you have a shop in the area, maybe you had to close down for half day or 2 days or whatever the case may be. And so we are required to provide compensation. We would have engaged with you before the road work starts to determine what your income was. And once the road works were done, the engineers would have indicated to us on this street we had to close down for X amount of time, or she would have had a reduced number of customers coming in because of the works and that kind of thing. And so today we are here to issue the cash entitlements for those, basically to provide you with your agreed compensation. We would have met with each of you individually along with our legal team and already agreed with you on the amount that will be disbursed today. So what will happen today is basically the issuing of the checks. Our legal officer will go through with you because we didn't sign the contract at the time. It's not usually signed until we get the IDB approval. But we have the conversation with you before. So what we sent to the bank would have had your consent already. All right, so we have with us our legal officer, Ms. Janelle Lindy, she's an attorney at law and would have been very much involved in the preparation of your draft agreement. So we're going to ask her to go through with you this afternoon the terms and conditions of your contract. Ms. Lindy, over to you, please.
I know you met before, just to confirm the days you were disrupted due to the works. The agreement is quite basic. It's between yourself and the Central Housing and Planning Authority. Just check to ensure that your names are correct so that we have a proper record of that. And it basically states where your property is located. It states the amount of days you were disrupted, and also we consulted with you before in terms of the amount of earnings you would have lost. So it has that statement. So you can just briefly go through the agreement again. I know we went through it before, just to ensure you're satisfied with the information there, and then we will proceed with signing.
So without any further hesitation, as I said, it will be a very short process. Please help me welcome the Honorable Minister of Housing and Water, Minister Croal.
Good afternoon, all. Let me acknowledge Permanent Secretary, Mr. Kuppen, CEO, Sherwyn Greaves. Of course, Donell Bess-Bascom, no stranger to yourself, and as the spearhead of this program, and our support staff on the second row, members of the media, but you're the important persons today, the beneficiaries. And this is another aspect that we are ensuring in terms of the completion of this project. You are aware this falls under the Adequate Housing and Urban Accessibility Program, which have a number of dimensions. So the ones that you normally see would be the core homes that we've been building. You have the subsidy program for that in terms of the support with the materials. You have for community enhancement, and that is in terms of ground enhancement. You have in terms of the capacity building, and that is training in a number of areas for establishment to be able to establish for small business. So it allows you to to look at some of the important tenets if you want to start your business and what or how you do simple bookkeeping, etc. So today one is in terms of part of the program which seeks some compensation as a result of being affected, because the infrastructure works also entails a number of roads that were done. So this urban program, which is being implemented in collaboration with the Inter-American Development Bank, obviously is a project. We did have some initial delays, but now we're pleased about the movement and comes to an end next year. And so we've had constant meeting with the bank to ensure that we can move on the project and move on its implementation. Projects have life cycles, so obviously if it's a loan, then you have repayment as part of it. The catchment that we have today is for East Bank of Demerara, for which we had a number of community roads that were done. Now, East Bank itself, just to give you on this project, we have built a number or handed over to date a number of core homes, in fact about 11 core homes to date. And we have a number of beneficiaries who have benefited from the subsidy program. So we're talking about 91 beneficiaries to date. On those alone, and when one has to look at the amount of houses to be constructed yet in terms of the core homes and the beneficiaries, we're talking about over $174 million alone that goes directly to benefit you, as in homeowners, persons who have a property that we were able to subscribe and be able to benefit through an initiative where you had an application process. Now, for members of the media, when this exercise is complete, we always see a number of comments under the CH&PA page, or, well, the CEO office or the minister's office, that keep asking, how can I benefit from the core home program? How can I benefit from the subsidies program? So let me give a reminder. All the beneficiaries went through a process, and that was completed. The potential beneficiaries have been approved, and with that, for which we have the bank's no objection. All we are doing now is implementing the project. We're not identifying new beneficiaries. So I want for the listeners to understand that very clearly. And so you'll see even more houses continue to be handed over, more of the subsidies being provided. And similarly, I want to make this comment on East Bank of Demerara, in addition to a number of ground enhancement that we've done as part of this project, we'll see in a major way 2 facilities, one expected in Herstelling and Covent Garden, for us to construct a community facility. So you have a ground to enhance it, and as well as build a bleacher-like facility that will allow at the top for usage. So East Bank is benefiting and being focused today. Sometime in the new week, we'll be on the Niming for a similar activity. And in fact, it is signing the contract on the ground on the Niming next week. So today, as part of this paying out and as part of this program, I want to thank you for your cooperation, your support. And it is initiatives like this will help you to go far away. And I want to ask you to utilize the resources as maximum as possible that can benefit you too, in terms of investing further or expanding or developing your business opportunities. And so I want to commend the team from the project and the CH&PA for ensuring that we continue to implement as quickly as possible this project. And these are the sort of initiatives that touch people's lives, that makes a difference or makes an impact. And at us, for here at Ministry of Housing and Water, we're particularly pleased to be part of this process. Very often you see sometimes the negatives, but the success stories and the positives and the impacts are not necessarily be told as much as we should. And that is what we're here for. When you elect a government, is to implement programs, implement policies that are geared towards making our citizens' life better, making our citizens' life comfortable, and securing the future for the children to come. All right, so congratulations to all.
Thank you, sir.
So first I'd like to invite Ms. Dawn Lane to uplift her check. All right, next Ms. Dion Ronette Cameron Joseph.
Thank you.
Natasha Grant, please prepare yourself. You're next. Natasha Grant. Mark Fasad, you're next.
Thank you.
Ms. Savitri Gomes, sorry. Ms. Savitri Gomes. Thank you so much, PS. And now we'll invite our CEO, Mr. Sherwyn Greaves, to the final to Ms. Lorraine Lewis. Lorraine Lewis. Yes, okay. So our minister has to leave for the other duties. So thank you, Minister, for being here. Thank you. And Ms. Shanta Bridgewater. Thank you, Minister. Shanta Bridgewater. This is our final check being handed out this afternoon. All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, PS. Thank you, CEO.
Thank you.